Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. And if you're not new here, thanks for stopping by. For everyone, thanks for stopping by. So today what I want to do is I want to make some more of these clustered page tabs. They look, just hang on. They look a bit like this when they're all put together. They're just a tab with a whole bunch of stuff put on top, like bits of lace and fussy cuts. And this one's steampunk. I want to use, I printed out a bunch of the fussy cuts from Rach and Bella, anywhere from 4 to a page to, I think the most I printed was like 9 to a page. So I have quite a large number. And then I was making envelopes from the digital kits for the envelope journal that I'm working on. And I printed them double-sided. And when I cut them out, I have all these little bits and pieces. Not all of these will work. Some of them are too small. These are all background pages from last year's Christmas kit, but I think that they go really well with the Nostalgic Noel, and they're neutral enough that they can be used as a background. These are printed on my koala paper, matte photo paper. This one is, I think it's 32 pound. It's not super heavyweight, but because it's photo paper, it's a little sturdier. And then I printed these on the heavier weight one that I have. I think it's 46 pound. And let's get started. So I'm going to start, hopefully I don't cause an avalanche, by cutting these into strips 1.5 inches. I'll cut all the little white bits off and then cut them into strips. I'm cutting the tabs into like 2-inch, maybe 2 1/4. I'll go 2 1/4 so it's a little bit bigger. And then some of these are going to be a bit small, so I won't get a full amount of tabs out of a line. But you wind up with lots of them, even from the leftovers. So I didn't get as many as well, maybe I did. Looks like I got lots. I was going to say I didn't get as many as I had hoped for, but I'm not sure exactly how many I had hoped for. If you're following along and want to make something similar, from here you will need a small scoreboard, or just to fold them in half, like that. Because these are lightweight cardstock, that's actually a fairly simple way to do it. So I think I may just do that and not use my scoreboard. Sometimes when I use my scoreboard, I don't get them, when I score at 3/4 inch, it doesn't fold exactly in half. So I'm just going to fold them in half and go from there. So you will just fold them in half. You'll notice that some have the logo on the inside. That's because they were printed double-sided and the envelopes were on the other side of this paper. And this is just reusing rather than wasting. This one will make a little baby tag. Tab. They're not tags, they're tabs. Tab. That one has a little bit of white because, actually, let's just cut that off. Because we're folding in half, I can do it that way. It'll be a little bit shallower than 3/4 of an inch, but that's fine. Technically, I don't think it matters how wide you make them. Oh, hey, I have an idea for what to do with other bits. I do. I have a whale tail punch. I got this on Temu. I'm pretty sure it's a knockoff of the Vasen Creative. I wouldn't have bought the one on Vasen Creative because for me to buy it, oh, that's not going to work. Unless I do it half. I could do it half. The Vasen Creative one in Canada, sorry about that noise. That was really noisy. The Vasen Creative in Canada is about $70. So that's well and truly outside my budget. So the fact that I got that for $15 off Temu does not break my heart. I'm all for buying products where they, you know, like designer or whatever, but when it's a matter of eating or buying craft supplies, I will, yeah. Okay, so that's half a tab. And then I'd have a better half a tab if I actually punched that straight, which I don't think I did. Not too bad. And then I think I can tape that together either in the inside or on the outside with washi tape, I think. So I will also do that and come back. That worked out all right. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pairs of the whale tail. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of what would be regular tabs, which is substantial considering they were waste bits of, and I still have like lots of pieces like this that I can use in my snippet rolls. Definitely use in my snippet rolls. I have some washi tape that I got from Coco Daisy in their Christmas washi, and it looks like it was designed by Rach and Bella, not by Coco Daisy. It blends seamlessly with this. I will show you when I do my video on the 27th in a flip through how beautiful it looks. I'm just going to try to pair these up so that they look like single pieces. I sort of did it before, but not completely. I either have a craft-a-lunch going on underneath my feet or a cat. This could get tricky. I'm gonna put a bead of glue. Craft-a-lunch. It's a craft-a-lunch. This is what happens when you put things on top of your garbage can. That one wasn't even cat-induced. Some of my craft-a-lunches are fully cat-induced. Doing this is not my idea. It came from the original maker of these little cluster tabs, and that's Crafty by Tony. She is like the queen of doing these. Like, look, you can't even tell that that's not meant to be on there. That just blends in beautifully. And then my scissors are right here. It does look like the glue bled into the back a little, but I think it should be fine. I hope it will be fine. I might let that dry flat first. So I'm gonna put washi on all of these. Now my fingers are all sticky. I also didn't fold any but that first one because it seemed to like buckle just a little on the inside. I think because I used a thinner photo paper than I might have used, but I think those turned out all right. I might add some more washi tape on the inside as well. Not necessarily this nice one, just like perhaps like a really narrow washi tape or something less fancy. Doesn't need to be fancy on the inside because you're never gonna see it, but that would make it sturdier and stick better. That looks like it's washi tape, but it's not. It's part of the paper. I think there was like extra it would have been the edging on the envelope, and yeah, must have been like envelope edging or something like that. Yeah, so that's those. Those are so cute, and they all look like that washi tape looks like it was intended. I really, really like that. That really makes me happy. For the next ones, for the regular tabs, if you have a tab punch board, you could use that. For the corners of that, I don't. I have a notch punch. A notch punch. It's made by Bira, and it comes with this little baby scoreboard that's meant for punching envelopes. I love this thing, like hardcore love this thing. I also have a longer Bira scoreboard that's half the width of a regular scoreboard but is long. That thing is miraculous. So from here, all you do is just punch that little notch out, or use your tab punch and punch your tab out. And that's what they look like with the Bira. The shorter that you make the tab here, obviously the closer together that looks. I'll show you on a short one what that would wind up looking like. So then you get like a baby tab. And you notice, like, look, that this one is so small, it's almost not joined together by the time the notch is done punching it. So if I did something like that and was going to use it, I would probably reinforce the top once it's all clustered up, so that this is actually like held together, like put a little tiny bit of this washi on it. Like, so and then here, because that's like you've got like edge in here, I would just not trim it completely, because otherwise you've just defeated the purpose of having done that in the first place. But just take a little tiny bit off of it so that it's still got that round bit, like so. And then it looks like part of what you're intending with the clustering on your tab, but that gives it a bit more reinforcement. So I'm going to continue on and notch all these. Now I have a whole raft of little, like, yeah, those are meeting my garbage can recycling bin. I wonder sometimes how my the recyclers, like, what they think when they take my recycling out, because most of my recycling waste is little tiny fiddly bits of paper and not a heck of a lot else. Oh, I munched that one. Yeah, okay, so this one here, I did think that that little bit of brown was not part of the paper, and I put it too close, so when I fold it, it bunches up. But I think I can work with that. I might need to trim that back a tiny bit. Hopefully I didn't do that with all of them. Nope. Some of these don't match perfectly front and back. Remember that when you put that on a book page, like so, you're only going to see part of that at the top. So if it doesn't match below where that, like here, below that little roundy bit, it doesn't matter. However, if that drives you nuts, look at that. Ink. Can you imagine? So if it drives you nuts, just come along like this and ink all the edges. Like so. Or, also got these just recently. I don't know how these are gonna work. Ooh. Okay. Like that. That's Linda going to the dark side, or the ink side, which, I mean, that is dark. So that's the next thing that you could do, is you could ink around all the edges of all your tabs, which would, realistically, that would take forever. That may be another reason I don't ink, is I want to get with it. But I do like, I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna ink. Okay, I inked a couple. Let's be honest, if I was going to ink all of those, I'd still be here before, or by the time I wanted to go to bed. And I'm not even gonna get that many done in a video. I might get one of each. Might, if I'm lucky. What I will do from here, this is just a little, I get these at Dollar Tree, eat all the mints, then I put stuff in them. I have them everywhere on my desk. As a result, my desk, like, do the rest of you find this, that when you craft, you start off with this nice big clear desk, and by the end of one crafting session, you can't find a single inch of spare crafting space? You have stuff everywhere. Yeah. I cleaned my desk too, because it was driving me insane after doing all the snippet rolls. I couldn't even find my desk, and I was like grumpy and upset, and I cleaned my desk and it's back to being grumpy and upset again. Yeah. I got these at Walmart today. They were like $5 for all of these. They're burlap. and I'm quite enamored of that plaid. And then these little, like, all of these are pretty darn cute. Too bad they don't give you like 2 of each. I guess they give you one of that, and then 2 of the other 2. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use things like this. Little bits and pieces of ribbon. It's one of the reasons I can't find my desk right now. Ribbon, other ribbon. Seriously, I have no desk because I have ribbon on my desk, and lace and other ribbon. Little bits of little bits. I got this. Sometimes I love thrifting. Oh my gosh, I love thrifting. This is vintage lace. You can tell by the feel of it. It's just lovely stuff. That was $2. $2. Like, are you kidding me? So I'm going to use that. I've got a bag. Yes, that's what I paid for it. It's got... I will use these. Look at these. Look at these. They are so amazing. I would have paid $1.50 for that. I just love it. Absolutely love it. And it's very Christmassy with the little stars on it. So I'm going to use that. I've got some of this, which is a bit wiry, but it'll be really good behind things. This might be a bit big, but this whole little bag is full of little, like, leftover-y bits that would have gotten thrown away, but to me are gold. Absolutely gold. So those are a couple of the things that I will use. I have this little bin of leftover bits of lace and bits and ribbon. Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't even on screen when I showed you that. These are, if you buy gathered ribbon, they use like this tulle stuff to keep the gathers all together, and I kept it all in a bin. So I'll probably use some of that. And there's little bits and pieces of ribbon in here as well. More ribbon, because you can't just have red. The green will feel very left out if you just use red. And then I also have, these are little snippety bits, like, and leftover little bits of lace. So I'll use some of that as well. I have, that doesn't even dent the amount of lace that I have. I will be using, like, I buy it at the thrift store, and I do things like buy that bag that's $1.50. This was $2 worth of lace at a thrift store. It was all in one little tiny Ziploc bag. It was in a 4x6 Ziploc bag, and when I took it out, it was like Pandora's box. It was just kept coming out and out and out and out. And then, like I said, these are fussy cuts from Rach and Bella's Nostalgic Noel kit, printed anywhere from 4 to a page to 9 to a page. No, maybe 6 to a page, so that I could get them really, really little, because I wanted things like small, tiny little numbers to put on there, and yeah, just like ephemera bits. And I don't know quite what I'm going to pull out of here and use. Definitely not 2 numbers together, but like, I don't know. I just don't know. From here, what I do is I build like a baby collage or a baby cluster, however you want to think of it. Putting the bits of lace like this behind it, or the gauzy bits of the ribbon or the lace, that tulle stuff, works fabulously, absolutely fabulous. Or you can use like little tiny bits of leftover lace that's been dyed probably with I think that's picket fence or something like that, that gives it that green. What else? So when you're building a collage, I will, if you're interested, I can do a video on how to put together a collage, or what to think of when you're doing a cluster, when you're building it. Everybody's going to have their own way of doing it. There's no right and wrong. I just have some ideas that I use, but don't feel that you have to use what I think works. I didn't ink around any of these. You definitely could if you wanted to. One second here. I didn't cut out all the little, these are the little tiny tickets. And I didn't cut out all the little, like, cornery bits. Because that's annoying. But it definitely makes it look better. All right. So what do we want for the background ribbon? Look, I rolled my sleeves up. I'm getting serious now. Okay. 1 second. Wax paper, because that's really white and I want to use that. And that's got vintage photo on it. So we're just going to smoosh that on top of that little bit of tulle to give it a bit of brown. Now, I want to show you something really cool. Like really, really, really super cool. We all know that distress oxide ink or distress ink is water reactive. So glue is wet. Glue is basically, it's not, but it's basically, it's water, right? So we just put distress oxide vintage photo on here. We're going to tap it with our finger. And I don't know, can you see that water reacting? You may not be able to see it, but you should see little pools where there's dots of glue, and it's reacting now with that vintage photo. Hopefully. Should. How's every other time I've done this? It's especially noticeable if you're using peeled paint. Because the, I don't know about the moss, but peeled paint, speckled egg, and the olive one, they all turn yellow when they react with water, so those spots are super noticeable. Like, super noticeable. I have no end result in mind when I'm doing this. I'm more or less what I'm doing is going by how I feel about it and layout. So what I want is I want it to I kind of want most of my clusters on one side or the other. I don't want it like the whole thing to be clustered. Like this one is down near the bottom, but it's primarily like all on one edge where all the clustery bits are. Let me see if I can find some other ones that are finished. Like that one's all kind of over on that side. You don't see very much of the tab of that one. Like this is mostly over on that side. So the other thing you can do is you can add stamping. Like if you look at it, there's a leaf. That would be from the autumn kit of Rach and Bella's. Now I can't remember the name of it. That was last week. Oh, just hang on. I got a Temu order today. And that just screams, put me on something and do it now. There's also music on this. Little Christmas trees. Lights. Music. But I think that in that corner, a little bit of snowflake. I have this sea glass, which looks to be quite blue. And then I have speckled egg, but I don't like how oxide ink stamp. Oh, I also have this Harmony, but it's water reactive as well. I might try, let me try the Harmony ink, because I'm really not a fan of how Distress inks stamp at all. They're to me, they're not a stamping ink. They're a they're kind of like a play in the mud kind of ink. Oh yeah, I like that. That works. That works quite nicely. I don't know if it's going to wind up giving me the same kind of vibe that, because it is water reactive, so it might give me the same kind of vibe that I get from a Distress ink, where it's hit it with water and do all kinds of fun things with it, but don't expect it to adhere nicely or look decent when it's got stuff on top of it, when you add glue and that kind of thing. One of the things that I find, this is by Spectrum Noir. One of the things that I find about this green topaz is similar in color to, I think maybe Evergreen Bough, or it's one of the green, like the bluey green. I don't have the, which is at Salvage Patina. I don't have that one, so I can't compare it to that. but it is very similar to one of the Tim Holtz colors. But when you get it wet, it doesn't turn yellow, which most Tim Holtz inks in that blue, that sea blue-green range, when they react with water, they go yellow. So they're no longer a blue ink, they're a yellow ink. And I hate it. Like, it really bugs me, because I figure that you've gone to all this work to make a beautiful blue ink, and you get it wet, and now it's no longer a blue ink, it's a yellow ink, and yellow is my least favorite color of all time. So I feel like I was cheated. Like, and that's my honest opinion, and if you don't like it, I'm very sorry about that. But I pay a lot of money for these things like this ink, and I want it to do what it claims it's going to do, and when it doesn't, I just, like, I can't spend that kind of money on something if it's not going to live up to its promise. And when I bought the Spectrum Noir, it did exactly what I expected, how I expected, and as a result, I actually really love it as a product, but it's very hard for me to find and very hard to get. I've looked on Amazon, and I think I got 3 different colors off of Amazon so far, but I have a hard time finding it, like a really, really hard time finding it. And I have a hard time finding it on a website where I can buy it, like, and it's not available at a place like St. Michael's or anywhere like that. And I live in a community that I still haven't figured out if we have a decent craft store or not, which is my own fault. See, simple, like, it hasn't got a lot on that. But if you put that on a page, if I can find a journal underneath all my pieces of paper. I mean, I can't find a journal, but. So if you put that on the edge of a page, look at how cute that would look. Or like, that would be so cute. Isn't that just so cute? So that's what these are going to be for, is that I will put them on different pages. And one of the reasons that I've made them with the, well, partly because I had it, but I didn't want them to be too heavy, so that if you put it on a page and you go to turn the page, it makes the page like sag like this because they're too heavy. But yeah, okay, there's one. So that's the horizontal one. Let's do I have that belongs in the journal. I hope I don't lose it. So let's do an up and down one, also known as a whale tail. And oh, look at how cute that would be if I did that with a little star sticking up on the top. So I discovered using these for I put them on a bunch of tags that are going to go into the journal, as opposed to tabs. These are tabs. I've also put them on tags, that if I put a dot of glue in the stars, they adhere to the substrate, and I can put Bearly Arts in the center of this little bit of organza, and it does stick down. I need to get some better 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac. Mine, I got it at a thrift store, and I think it's quite dried out, and it's very hard to get out of the bottle, so I don't use it very much. I'd bought one new and I hated the smell of it. And then before I even used all of it, the nozzle of the bottle broke off. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I don't have success with glue. Except for Barely Arts, it always treats me well. I think these are so tiny. Look at how tiny those are. I have a lot of numbers. I did cut out quite a large number of numbers. Oh. It's like, oh, there's the Merry Christmas, and then I lost it. There's another ticket. That one's got a gingerbread man on it. There's a bigger Christmas. So you can see I printed these fussy cuts, 2 different sizes. That one's probably 4 to a page, and that one I think is 6 to a page. I like that too. I wouldn't put both Merry Christmas on there. Tree. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find a ruler. I'm losing my desk at an alarming rate. I have that one. I have numbers, but no, I think if I'm gonna do that, because then I can come out this way a little bit. And make sure that's still opened. Let's put a little bit of stamping on there as well. I'm gonna put, excuse my arm, I think I'm gonna use a little bit of sepia. Move these out of the way. Almost cleaned that off my desk and it's like, no, that belongs. Now, which has, I just want it down here in that section. Put some paper underneath there so I don't wreck my desk. I'm gonna treat this the same way I do that one with all the numbers on it, and just like as an all over stamp, that it doesn't really matter how it goes on. Yeah, I think that still works. Yeah, that works. And then a little bit on the back, just like to cover the whole back. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Wonder if it should have something in the corner here too. Like, not a number. I like the little snowflake idea. Keep forgetting to put the lid on my glue. There. Perhaps like that. I didn't even use any of that ribbon. Pulled out all that ribbon and I didn't use any of it. Okay, let me clean off my desk. Well, okay, I didn't clean off my desk very well at all. It's a bit overwhelming. Yeah, I see another clean coming in my near future. Yeah, right about now I'm glad that I already filmed my my video for the 27th, because I'd be feeling a bit pressured otherwise. It'd be like, oh my gosh, I have 2 days to find my desk. Yeah. But we created 2 whole tabs in like probably about 5 hours or something like that, and a whole slew of ready to like create. I will continue to work on these because it is a way for me to clean off my desk. But if you have leftover little pieces, like strips from cutting down pages, as long as they're about 1.5 inches wide, maybe even a little bit wider than that, you can make a tab that's about 3/4 of an inch high, which is a nice depth for a tab, and use it on the side of other pages. Decorate them up and make them look kind of a little bit fancy with clusters, and you're good to go. So until next time, I hope you have a lovely crafty day. Bye!